What is up, guys? So, today is Sunday, and it was a long and eventful and uneventful day. Wait, what? Okay, first of all, we had the Cardinals play against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I'm going to say two things about this. One, disappointed. Two, I'm disappointed. Cardinals lost. Done. We're done. We're not talking about this anymore. They go down to 9-3. They still have yet to get their 10th win. They play Kansas City at Kansas City next week. So that will be interesting. All right, moving on to Walking Dead. We had the mid-season finale, and just like, well, I'm going to put this into 5 different points, kind of like a PowerPoint, if you will. I will have 5 main focal points, and I will talk about those points, and they may lead into other talks. Okay, here we go. First of all, the episode was in the same exact pace the last 2 episodes have been, and if you watch my other reviews for the last 2 episodes, I did not like that very much. Alright, so number 1 point in the show was right at the beginning, at least 5 minutes in. Rick runs over somebody with a police car. More importantly, a cop. So the cop that bashed Sasha's skull into the window and knocked her out was running, and Rick was running after him. Now, he tells him to stop, which he doesn't. He tells him to stop like 3 times, and he doesn't. So he runs the motherfucker over. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like, Rick is just gone. Lost it. He's acting a little bit like Shane from season 1 and 2. So they have this big talk. It was very monologue-ish, except the roles were switched. But cop basically is just like, take me back. This is not how you are, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, just take me back to the hospital. And then he says something like, you're all going to die. You're just going to die. And then Rick shoots him. And then Rick has this, like, one-liner. He's like, shut up. Like, it was, like, the most, like, cheesy thing ever. But whatever. But I will say that entire scene where he's running after him had one of the best, filmography, videography, whatever you want, filmography, if you will. Just the camera people did a spectacular job. The director, whoever directed the episode, it was amazing. I was more concerned about the way the camera was moving and the way it was looking, like, than I was the entire episode. Alright, number 2. The Gabriel brings back a horde of zombies to the church. They lose the church. So there's this big scene where Gabriel's running back from the school, is where he went in the last episode. He's running back. He gets stuck outside because he can't crawl back underneath the building. I think he got, like, there was too many zombies, so he couldn't crawl underneath. And then so they literally have to break their barrier that they have on their door and let him in. Then they got overrun, so they had to go through the little hole he made in the back room. And that they being Michonne, Carl, Sophia. I think they named her Sophia, didn't they?
The baby?
Yeah, no, they named her Judith. Why am I so? Oh, because that was one of Carl's ideas to name her Sophia. Anyway, Judith and Gabriel, they crawl through the bottom. And then, like a little bit later on, they don't know what to do, and get fucking Abraham driving this, the fire engine, just crushes right into the church and blocks them in. So, church is gone, but Abraham saved everybody. Yeah. All right, number 3, the exchange. All right. So here was the setup. Okay, Rick had 2 cops. He had 3, but he has 2 now. So what they did is they set up a meeting, basically, but they were like missing a big part. It was like meeting, exchange. Like, there was nothing in between. And 2 cops for Carol and Maggie. Jesus, Beth. So Carol, Beth for 2 of their cops. So now when they're there, she asks, Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Which this was an awesome scene by itself. Again, for the way the camera crew handled the scene and the director. They call it a Dutch scene. I think that's what they call it. Basically, what it is that the camera is tilted at an angle, so it adds dramatic effect. That whole like scene was full of it. It was awesome for like 2 minutes, and then after a while, you're kind of like, okay, this is getting out of hand. You might want to tilt it back, but it worked out. It worked out. It was really good. I like I said, I paid a lot of attention to the way it was filmed rather than the actors. Number 4. Wait, did I already say 4? I don't know if I said 4. Well, if this is... It's number 4. Okay, I'm not on 5 yet, my last part. But the part before the last point, we have Morgan, who is still alive, and they hadn't said anything about him since the beginning of the season. This is a post-credit scene. So he's at the school, and he's kind of just following these marks in a tree for some reason. I don't know where these marks came from, but that's what he's following, and he winds up at the church. He gets inside the church, and he has the map that Abraham drew up for Rick when he left. He said, you know, on the bottom it said, "I'm sorry for being an asshole or a jerk," or something like that. But when we restart the world is going to need a Rick Grimes, and it had it underlined. And once he saw that, his face was like, oh my god. So what I lead to believe is that he was just following blindly. He had no idea who he was following. He's following someone, and now that it is Rick, I think they are going to meet up probably next season, if not the end of the season. So that was my number 4 moment. My number 5 moment, the biggest point, Beth dies. Now, this was in just regular Walking Dead fashion. It was just like, boom, dead, gone. Oh my gosh. So, the exchange goes down. Carol for one of the cops, Beth for one of the cops. But we have, what's her name? The cop. I can't remember. Dawn. Yeah, thank you. Brain farting every time. Dawn, who is kind of on this, like, I'm the boss type thing. So she says we're not done, and that she wants Noah. Noah being the young boy that escaped with the help of Beth and found his way to Carol and Daryl. She wants him back, and Rick says no, he wants to go home. And Beth's like, it's okay, and he's like, no, it's not okay. And then, you know, Noah's like, no, it's fine, I'll go. And he starts to walk to the other side. Beth stands up to Dawn, and she says, I get it. Going back to the moment where her and Dawn were talking, and she was kind of critiquing Dawn on her way of viewing the apocalypse, doing what she has to do to get stuff done, pretty much. So she stands up to Dawn and she says, I get it. And then she stabs her, like, in the chest area with a pair of scissors. I think she was aiming for her neck. I don't know exactly, but she stabs her, and as soon as she's done stabbing her, like in Walking Dead fashion, it was done in an instant. Dawn had shot Beth, like straight bottom of the head through the top of the head, and we had that Dutch angle, so it was like Dutch angle, top down view. So we're looking at the back of Beth's head, and we're looking at Dawn, and Dawn just blows her away. And then Daryl, who's particularly fond of Beth, steps up, like, doesn't say anything. His face is just in awe, and steps up and just blows Dawn away. Like, Dawn gets 2 words in, I didn't. Those are the words she got. She got her face full of shock, and I did it, meaning that she didn't mean to do it, but boom, dead, gone. And we have this saddening moment. It's just like very, very sad, where Daryl is carrying Beth's body outside of this hospital, and at the same time we have Maggie, Glenn, Abraham, Sasha. No, Sasha was with
the sun burns out, we'll light the world with tiny glowing screens. Tiny glowing screens, glowing screens. When the sun burns out, we'll light the world with tiny glowing screens. Tiny glowing screens.
I've seen a person go to shows and raise a light.